Good morning, respected teachers, judges, and all my dear friends. Today, we Aaryabhat House are here to tell you about two of the greatest space missions by Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO. First, we will tell you about Mangalyaan mission, which was launched in 2013, Mars Orbiter Mission (MOM). This mission was launched on 5th November 2013. Mangalyaan. Do you know what this means? Mangal is the Hindi name for the planet Mars, and Yan is a craft. Basically, a flight craft. Here you can understand by a spacecraft. So Mangalyaan means a spacecraft to Mars. ISRO was the only space agency by 2013 to enter in the Mars orbit in the first attempt. ISRO has become the fourth space agency in the world to successfully send a spacecraft in Mars orbit.
The path of the PSLV Excel. First of all, what is the full form of PSLV? It is Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. The spacecraft is injected into an eclipse-sparking orbit of the Earth, which is set by the launcher. With 6 main engine burns, the spacecraft is gradually maneuvered into the departure of hyperbolic trajectory with which it escaped from the Earth's SOI. So the main important terms in this paragraph is the elliptic parking orbit. This orbit has all planets has this orbit in which the spacecraft is launched. The second important term is hyperbolic trajectory. It is the orbit in which Earth's gravitational pull is applied to the spacecraft.
The goals of the mission. The major goals for the mission was to explore the Mars surface features, morphology, mineralogy, and Martian atmosphere by indigenous scientific instruments. This mission was also to develop technologies for future missions of ISRO, to develop communication technologies, management and planning for these future interplanetary missions.
About the spacecraft. ISRO built upon the experience of Chandrayaan-1, which is the orbital mission of the Earth, and here is the Mangalyaan. The Mars spacecraft was modified design of the Chandrayaan-1 design. For example, it is an advanced version. There were more and upgraded solar panels which make for the reduced solar energy available at Mars. It has 6 engines which burns and sends that satellite into the orbit. It has 4 detachable components which has its own fuel such as liquid fuel and solid fuel.
Cheering from scientists at the Space Research Organization in India after the country became the only one in the world to successfully reach Mars on its first attempt. The Mangalyaan spacecraft entered the red planet's orbit on Wednesday after a journey of more than 10 months.
We have completed brain. We have dared to reach out into the unknown and have achieved the near impossible.
The mission at 58 million euros is being hailed as low cost, less than the 77 million spent on the Oscar-winning movie Gravity. Mangalyaan will join NASA's spacecraft Maven, which arrived on Sunday and cost almost 10 times as much to send.
Just now you have seen that this was a very big achievement for India. India was the first country to do so in the first attempt, and here we saw a clip of a foreign news channel covering this news. The major attainments, or you can say achievements, of this missions were the detection of atmospheric methane, surface imaging, and meteorological mapping. The specialty of the mission, Mangalyaan made India the first country to reach the Mars orbit on its maiden impact. So the mission was not able for its low cost, approximately $74 million, making it the cost-effective Mangalyaan mission ever. Aditya L1 is the first spacecraft mission conducted by the Indian ISRO. The spacecraft is placed in the hollow orbit in the Lagrange point L1 of the Sun-Earth system, which is about 1.5 million kilometers away from the Earth. A satellite placed in the hollow orbit around the L1 point has the major advantages of seeing the sun anytime during the eclipses or occultation. This will provide a greater advantage of observing the solar activities and its effect on space weather in real time.
So first of all, we understand what Aditya L1 mission is. So we will understand the term L1. L1 stands for Lagrange 1. Lagrange 1, right here you can see, it is the point between the Earth and Sun where the spacecraft remains constant and rotates in the halo orbit. Halo orbit is the orbit between the Earth and the Sun at the Lagrange point, which rotates the satellite there. And we will study now the major objectives of the Aditya L1. So its major objectives are to study the first three layers of the Sun, the uppermost layers of the Sun, that is the chromosphere, photosphere and the corona. So it will study about the solar upper atmosphere, chromosphere and corona dynamics. Also it will study about the magnetic fields of the plasma and the coronal mass ejections which are emitted from the Sun and various solar activities which are emitted from the Sun. Also, it will study about the development, dynamics and origin of CMEs. CMEs are coronal mass ejections and it will study about the plasma and corona in detail. Now we will see a video about for greater understanding.
The Earth's first mission to study the Sun was expected to provide a deeper understanding of the very detailed solar distribution, component units of solar atmosphere, solar distribution and temperature and oxygen, the demonstration of very wide tensions, variance, and very extent. The objective energy is various planets. Originally belonged to the first day, especially using cylinders and new development and observe solar dynamics that occurs in cylinders. The mission will have modern intelligence to detect scandals in solar gas and provide directional and energy consistency of solar. The technical missions and its capabilities. Mission done.
So I hope now you are clear what are the objectives of Aditya L1 mission. Now this is how the satellite was launched into the space. This first you can see the PSLV is launched with 4 rounded PSOMs and then it stage by stage transforms and it is launched into the space. Now we will see watch a video of the launch of Aditya L1.
As you can see, it is launched in the 2nd September 2023.
So, launching Aditya L1 mission was not an easy mission. There were several challenges in the mission. First was extreme temperature and radiation. So, as Aditya L1 was made to study the Sun, the extreme heat and radiation of the Sun can damage and malfunction the components of the Aditya L1. Second challenge was precision in orbit insertion. As we know that Aditya L1 was inserted in the halo orbit. So
So inserting Aditya L1 in the hello orbit was not an easy task. It required various accurate calculations by the scientists. Third was data transmission. Transmission of the data from the Aditya L1 to the Earth was not an easy task. The distance between the Sun and the Earth, the distance was about 1.5 million kilometers, and the scientists had to also confirm that the data should not be lost. The fourth was moving components. Unlike previous missions of ISRO, Aditya L1 had moving components. So this increased the risk of collision and also malfunctioning of the components. The key achievements of the mission. First, hello orbit insertion. So the Aditya L1 was successfully inserted in the hello orbit, which enabled it to give view of the sun without any occultation or eclipses. Second, scientific data collection. Aditya L1 commenced the collection of scientific data, including full disk images of the sun in near ultraviolet wavelength, and also high energy X-ray glimpses of the solar flares. At last, continuous observation. The mission provided uninterrupted views of the sun, and giving real-time observation of the solar activities and near space weather.
Thank you for listening to us. We hope that you all have learned about our two of the greatest successful missions of history. Thank you.